Welcome to day one. Let's start by laying on our back. Knees bent, feet flat, hands by your side. We're gonna start just by pelvic tilting. So we're gonna take our hip bones, bring them up towards our rib cage, tucking our bum under and putting our back flat on the ground. And then we're gonna go in the other direction, bringing our hip bones down towards our feet, arching our back, so there's a nice gap here. And we're just gonna rock into that tuck and into that tilt for 30 seconds. Good, and then just pause there. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get into what we call a neutral spine. So we're gonna just tuck and tilt our pelvis till we find the middle point. So that means our pubic bone and our hip bone are going to be flat. So we're not gonna be tucked up or tilted down. We're gonna be in that nice neutral position with a little dip in our low back. We're gonna soften our rib cage down, bringing our chest down so that the back of our ribs touch the mat, but making sure to keep the little dip in the low back. We're gonna keep our chin slightly tucked, our shoulders relaxed to our side, our knees in line with our hip, and pause here. This is neutral spine. And then relax. Let's reset up. So find that neutral part of our pelvis, little dip in our low back, soften our ribs down, tuck our chin, shoulders relaxed back, knees in line with hips, hold there, and relax. We'll do that one more time. So finding that neutral spine, ribs are down, shoulders are back, chin's tucked, knees in line with hips. Hold there. And relax. Now we're gonna move on to diaphragmatic breathing. So we're gonna do some nice big breathing here. So start by just inhaling through your nose, filling your belly up with air, and then breathing out and letting the belly drop down. So inhale, fill the belly with air, exhale, let it drop down. Now the key here is we want to keep our chest nice and relaxed. So don't let the chest lift all the way up when we're breathing. We want to shoot our breath down into our belly, filling it up and breathing out, letting it drop down. So I'll do that 2 more times. One more time. Good. Now we're gonna add to that breathing and we're gonna try and breathe into the sides of our rib cage. So again, we wanna keep our chest relatively soft. We still wanna fill our belly with air, but we want the breath to shoot outwards as we breathe in. So we're gonna breathe in, fill our belly, but also fill our rib cage to the side. Breathe out, squish your ribs back in, let your belly drop down. Breathe in, and you can use your hands to help with feeling the movement in the rib cage. Breathe out. Ribs go in, belly goes down. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. And relax there. Wonderful. Now we're gonna do core activation. So for this one here, we're going to imagine drawing our belly button down towards our spine. While we do that though, we're not gonna have any movement in our body, so we don't want our pelvic to tuck or our ribs to engage. We want to just draw the belly down as far as we can and then relax. Now a way to test to see if we're activating the core is we can take our 2 fingers, place it on our hip bones, and roll deep into the tissue. So we're off the bone inside the tissue here. We're gonna draw our belly down towards our spine. Now keep pulling until you feel kind of like a pop under your fingertips. And that's that muscle activating. And then relax. Draw your belly down. Feel the pop behind the fingertips. And relax. Remember to keep your spine in neutral position so we're not tucking or tilting. And relax. One more time, draw it down, hold, and relax. Good. Now there's a second part to the core that we want to activate, and it's our pelvic floor. So it's a bit of a funny muscle to activate, so bear with me on the explanations. But essentially, it's like a hammock that sits between our pubic bone and our sacrum, so kind of the base of our torso. We want you to imagine like you're peeing and you're gonna stop the flow of urine. So you're just gonna squeeze down below, but nothing else moves. And then relax. You're gonna squeeze and relax. Good. So that's the front portion of the pelvic floor, but we also wanna work the back portion. So bear with me on this explanation as well. This one's a bit funny, but I want you to imagine like you're holding in a fart. So you're squeezing your bum hole. You're gonna squeeze and relax. But don't let your bum cheeks activate. So it's just a very small little motion happening down below and relax. Squeeze and relax. So now let's try and do both the front and the back of the pelvic floor. So we're squeezing pee muscles and bum muscles and holding. No glute activation, no core activation yet. And relax. And again, squeeze front and back. There should be no movement happening. Your thighs should be relaxed. And relax. One more time. And relax. Good. Now let's add them together. So we're gonna draw our belly down towards our spine as far as we can till we feel the activation behind our fingertips. We're gonna squeeze the front and the back pelvic floor muscles and hold here and then relax. Reactivate, belly button down to spine, pelvic floor activates, and relax. Two more times, belly to spine, pelvic floor activates, and relax. Very good, now rest there. Just take a deep breath in and breathe out and let everything rest there. Now we're gonna try and hold our core for 30 seconds while breathing. So we're going to take a deep breath in to start. As we breathe out, we're gonna pull our belly to our spine, all the way till we feel that activation. Pelvic floor, front and back, down below are gonna activate. We're gonna hold here. There's no movement happening in the rest of our body. And we're gonna try breathing into the sides of our ribs for 30 seconds. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now you've probably already let go of your core and that's okay. Just reactivate. Re-pull that belly down. Squeeze front and back pelvic floor areas. And keep breathing. Keep reactivating even if it's 100 times in the 30 seconds. Just keep trying to hold it and remember not to hold your breath. Good, and rest there, well done. All right, so now let's start to add some movement to our core. So we're gonna draw our belly in, squeeze our pelvic floor, and we're gonna lift our arms up and over our head all the way back, and then bring them all the way back down. So let's add our breath. So we'll breathe in, breathe out, activate the core, arms go up and back, and then arms back down. Breathe in, breathe out, activate the core, arms go back, arms down, breathe in, breathe out, activate the core, and down. One more time, breathe in, breathe out. Well, activating that core, lifting those arms up and back, and down. Last one. Arms back, and down, and rest there. Good job. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna move our legs. So we're gonna activate our core, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide one leg down and bring it back up. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 on each leg and we're gonna alternate the legs. So take a deep breath in. Let's breathe out, draw our belly to our spine. Activate the pelvic floor, keep our neutral spine, Slide the right leg down, core still tight, bring it back in. Keep breathing as we move through the movement. And don't be afraid to just reactivate the core if you let it go. Remember both belly to spine and the pelvic floor. Good, keep breathing. Relax the chest, belly keeps pulling down. Good, remember to keep reactivating the core. It will get easier in time. We've got one more each leg. Good, and rest there. So now that we've introduced our core, let's just mobilize our upper back a little bit. So let's bring our hands up towards the ceiling, super glue our hands together, lock our elbows straight. We're gonna rotate as far as we can to one side. The opposite shoulder will lift off and we'll follow our head with our hands. Keep the elbows straight and don't let the hands slide apart. We want to keep them glued together and then come back to the center. We're going to go to the other side, opposite shoulder lifts, head goes with it, hands stay together, elbows are straight, back to center. Let's add our breath, inhale and exhale, and we'll do this for 30 seconds. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good, keep going, we're almost done. Good, and back to center, then bring your arms down. We're gonna move on to a stretch now, so let's turn onto our sides. You can use your arm for a pillow or a headrest. You can also use a pillow or a blanket, and the arm can be straight or bent, whatever is most comfortable. Have your bottom leg bent for support. You're gonna grab your ankle, your foot, your shin, whatever's easiest, of the top leg with the top arm. If you can't reach, you can wrap it with a towel and grab the towel as well. You're gonna bring the knee back, keep that knee in line with the hip, and you're gonna feel a nice stretch in the front of your quads. We're gonna hold that for 30 seconds. Good. Now slowly come out of that, and we'll switch over to the other side. Grab that top foot, ankle, shin with the top arm, bottom leg bent for support, pulling back so the knee's in line with the hip, and we'll hold here for 30 seconds. Remember to always just stretch till you feel a stretch and never pain. And always remember to breathe throughout our stretching. Good. Slowly come out of that, and then come on up to sitting. And now you've completed day 1.